We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome back to These Unprecedented Gays, your go-to podcast for all things queer, where we unpack the nuances of LGBTQ plus life in these unprecedented times.
Love this. Wait, have you been here since they moved? Yeah.
No, they have been here since they moved, but not since since the holidays.
Yeah, but not since the holidays.
Was the last time I saw you the Pride? Was that Pride?
I guess so.
Oh my God. You need to come around more.
We've seen you since then.
Yeah, we've seen you
Stop
since
hiding
then.
from us.
Sorry.
Stop being a busy married man.
I'm not even that busy. I'm just lazy.
I'm okay with that. You are protecting your sanity by relaxing.
Yeah.
But they all have fallout. We were talking about,
Yeah.
it's just a question of which direction do you go? The hardest thing with prostate cancer was you could go surgery or radiation, and both are equally well tolerated and effective. So there was no like clear direction of, yeah, you should do this because it's better. They were just like, well, which do you prefer?
I wouldn't do well with that. I'd be like, you tell me the best option as a medical professional because I don't want to make that decision.
Exactly. That was so hard. And I heard different opinions. Like Dr. Carlton had a very clear opinion, and I did not agree with his opinion. I totally respect him as a doctor, but I just didn't align with
Was
what
his
I
for
wanted.
Surgery?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That is
And I think it also comes from where your background is. Look, a comedy podcast that starts talking about cancer is just an amazing thing.
We are all genres wrapped up into one. We're comedy, we're drama, we're
Edutainment.
love, edutainment,
Relationship advice.
self-help.
Yes.
Yeah, we are all of it.
And if we start talking about that Dragon book series, it could get all sexual.
I know. Okay. I'm on, I think that like chapter 19 or 20. Nick is going
book 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nick is going faster because this is like
I'm on chapter 50 of book 2.
Girl, well, you are a faster listener than my reading because it's like the chapters are less. They're less long this time.
Mm-hmm.
Shorter is the word, but like less long. But the and like having it's like not the right amount of time for me to like get a train read or whatever. So I'm like, ooh, okay. So it's like I do like one chapter and it's like 12 pages.
Yeah.
So, but I'm liking it.
It's still really good. We're listening to this, or I'm listening, and he's reading this series of books.
What's the book called?
The first
Iron
one's
something.
Fourth Wing, and then this one's Iron Squad,
Ironclad, Iron Gate, Iron
Is
Maiden.
a series of books?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like if you're a teen girl that like loves the woman who writes it clearly has like some sexual angst that she needs to get out, but it's for like a teen audience, but not a teen
I would
audience.
say a young adult audience.
Yeah.
It's not really teen. It's not like
like
what
14.
Was Twilight
Yeah.
was kind of romantic and
This
love.
is not romantic.
This is much more.
There's a
they
lot
lean
of
into the
words
sexual.
We're talking like
about
erotic,
sex.
more erotic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like straight erotica.
I learned a lot about the clitoris, and I've been married to a woman, so
I'm like, wait, whoa, like, okay. I don't know how they work.
You need to get to like chapter 48 because we have another really good one.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I got to the one chapter where there was a surprise and I was like, oh. So.
Yeah. There's some good, I mean, it's a good story. So
yeah.
Aside from the straight sex part of it, there's some good narrative, and it's kind of like this intrigue, battle, political thing. It's got a lot.
That's what you were saying. This one is more. There's like the first one was like setting the foundation of like the main character, and like then you get like a full like, oh, just kidding. The whole plot is different. And then the second book is more, I'm getting like the political part of it and like the like who is really trustworthy. And I'm like, oh, I live for it. I was on the train today and I was like, oh, the next one, my Kindle was like, you can finish this in 8 minutes. And I was like, I'm going to do it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So welcome to a very special edition of These Unprecedented Gays.
Yes.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Joe.
And we have a special guest this week.
Yes, who is it?
Hi, everyone. Andrew.
Andrew Davis,
a friend of the
back
pod.
to
This
see
is
us
what your
again.
This is your
friend of the podcast.
third, fourth?
Yeah.
Fourth. I think it's your
third.
fourth. You're like one of our most frequent visitors.
Wow.
Now
Yes.
I think you and Dr. Carlton are the two.
Wow.
Tied for first.
Nice. Or you can call me Drew now if you want to. I don't know if since I moved to GI from the ICU.
Wait, are you coming out with a new name?
I moved down there and people started calling me Drew. And so it's stuck. And now like everyone in this new department. So now I go by Drew at work.
But what do you go by to yourself?
I think I still introduce myself as Andrew by habit. But Drew, my family called me Drew like growing up. So I go by both. I've never really been called Andy. But Drew or Andrew?
I think I may have told this story. My family, I was the second oldest, and my brother was David. And my mom's original plan was she was going to have all D's. So David, Drew, Darren, Daniel. So like we were all going to have D names. Well, I screwed that up because they made the mistake of calling me Andrew as a little kid. And like around 4, they decided they were going to change my name to Drew, and I was like, "No, I am." Andrew.
Wait. So your legal name was Andrew. They wanted to change
it's like they were going to call me
Like a
Drew,
nickname. Yeah.
but they had always called me Andrew before that, and I was just not having it.
When did you become Andy?
High school.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
And I still have relatives that don't know me as Andy. Like I have aunts and uncles that would call me Andrew, or my cousins that would still call me Andrew.
I feel like Andrew Davis is Andrew Davis. Like your
so
first
funny.
last. Like
Yeah,
I can't.
for
I
you,
don't
yeah.
call you. Like I never could call you Drew or like Andrew. You're Andrew Davis.
Although I could totally get.
But you're
behind
not
the
that
Drew
anymore,
thing.
right?
So funny.
When you guys got married,
No, I'm still Andrew Davis.
The funny thing is, I don't mind Drew. I would go by Drew. It doesn't bother me at all.
Didn't you? But did you guys morph last names?
No.
You kept your each last name.
Yeah, when we did the license, we like left the option open, but kept our names.
Would you change your last name?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, well, we talked about it. He says he would change his because his last name is so complicated. Siqueiros.
Yeah, it's like hard to spell.
Like hard to spell, hard to say for people. So.
I mean, it's more. I think if he were to make you change your last name, it'd be more like a running joke of like, can Andrew say it?
Andrew
Can Andrew
Siqueiros.
Davis?
Yeah,
Andrew Siqueiros. Sigourney Weaver.
So both of ours were short, but the only thing I regret is there's a lot of Smiths, where if you were going up in the line to get your name badge at an event, there's always only one or two Qs, but there's a bunch of Smiths.
Isn't
in there.
Smith's like one of the most common last names too, I think?
In the U.S.
Because was that your, that was your like last name, right? Like your...
No, Paul's last name.
Oh, yours was Quinn.
Yeah.
Oh. But you guys got rid of your middle names, right?
Yeah, we took Quinn both of us took Quinn as middle name and then
What was your middle name before?
William.
Oh.
Nice.
And Paul's was Daryl.
Daryl.
So it was an easy give for him. He didn't want to be Daryl and his other cousin Daryl.
I feel like you could have, I don't know, like, because people sometimes just add names, but then 4 names is a lot. Like,
It's a lot.
So yeah, it's a lot. So I'm happy. I don't regret it at all. It was like a weird change for a year.
when you get used to it. I mean, it's
used to
what, 15, 10, 12? How long ago is it?
Oh my God, we've been together for 14 now.
But married for...
For 7.
Nice.
It'll be 8 in October.
It's incredible. Gio doesn't have a middle name, so for him it would be easy to just Gio Davis Siqueiros,
But he has like familial names, right? In Latin cultures, they bring on the mother's name.
True. Yeah, but I think on his birth certificate it's just his first and last name.
And no baptism name.
No baptism.
What about a confirmation?
They weren't that religious, no.
Oh, okay.
Paul's at the trade show that he's working at right now, and he's John there, or JP.
Oh yeah,
That blows my mind.
I remember hearing that on Monday episodes.
Even his when I go to
It's his
visit
family
with his
too,
family,
right?
they call him John all the
JP.
time, and I forget who they're talking about sometimes.
I would have, like, it's hard because it's not at all near what his real name is. Like John, Paul.
Yeah, there's no. Might as well call him Ringo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm get on board with that.
Same.
So he's doing good. He's in Atlanta right now.
He's on wave 2 of his third wave
He's on
tour.
wave 2.
Yeah.
And just because of the topics we may talk about today, this may come out sooner than last week's episode. So the order may be, don't listen for cohesion, people.
Yeah, you listen for us.
Yeah. Every week.
What have we ever been cohesion? Wait,
Cohesive?
cohesive? Clearly.
Coherent? No.
Coherent. Mm-hmm.
So our fourth, Nick is having a visit with his folks.
Yeah, so Nick's parents are in town. He has an office thing tomorrow. So
His open house.
Yeah, open house. I think they're getting ready, like they're going to Costco and everything. And then he texted me on the way home. He's like, can you bring home some samples from work for like free stuff? And I was like, I get all the free sunscreen. Like what do you want, right? So when I get back home, I'm gonna be like, all right, Nick's mom and dad, like, what do you want? I'm taking orders.
What sort of open house?
For his office.
Oh, nice.
But not really like an open house because it's been open.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think it's just like a grand opening sort of
They
thing.
finished the decoration on it too, right?
Yeah, I think it's just like a kind of like now that everything's fine, they're like doing it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where's the office?
Hillcrest.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know the corner building right at Fifth.
By the 24-hour fitness.
Fifth
where it
and
used to
University.
be.
Yeah.
So across the street from that
Nice.
building right there,
Oh,
where
that's
where
incredible.
Lemonade is, and
Yeah.
Wait, I thought Lemonade closed.
it may have, but I mean,
Where it used to
They,
be. Yeah, I know where
okay,
that's at.
I think all of the Lemonades closed because we were at UTC Mall and I was like, "Ooh, let's go to Lemonade," and it wasn't there, and I was so sad because I
Interesting.
liked Lemonade.
I thought it was good. I just wasn't a go-to. Like it
No,
it didn't. They did a lot of different things. They
Yeah.
didn't do any one thing that made me keep wanting to go back.
the one thing that made me want to go back was the Thai meatballs. They had
okay.
really good Thai meatballs, but they never had them, and it was only like for 1 year.
In Hillcrest, it was Tie Me Up meatballs.
Yeah. Ooh.
Of course
Yeah.
it was.
Tie me up, meatballs, daddy. Tie me up and
Tie
bind,
Me Up,
bind
buy
me.
my meatballs.
Oh my! What is sadomism? BDSM, right?
Yeah,
But
sadomasochism,
bondage.
bondage.
Clearly, I'm
domination.
into the expert on that one. Bondage, sadomism, sadomasm.
Bondage, dominance, sadism, and masochism, BDSM.
Damn. I don't. Yeah,
It's complicated.
I'm not an expert in that, but I'm sure that the Tie Me Up meatballs. That's a good
Or
one.
big dick stimulate me, BDSM.
Oh.
Oh, I feel like we should
easier.
open up a restaurant in Hillcrest with just like really punny names like that.
Well, Moe's and Uptown, they all kind of have that.
Yeah,
There's a
they
lot
have
of
those
very
cheeky
funny
names, yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, Gossip Grill has a couple really good ones.
Oh yeah. Gossip Grill. Yeah, their menu is.
I don't really frequent those areas.
Yeah, I mean they're not in your wheelhouse.
Well, and I mean they're not known for their food,
Nope.
but I will say Baja Betty's, the queso. That's what's up. I'm hoping. I think Nick's parents really like the queso at Baja Betty's. I'm like, can we go to get queso at
Nice.
Baja Betty's?
Oh, and if you guys go, let me know. I'll go with you.
Yeah,
I'd love to see them. I haven't seen them in a while.
yeah.
The last time, in fact, I saw them
Was that when we did the pizza party?
Yeah, we did the pizza party at our house.
Was that 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, we had some big strawberry cake. I remember I made for it.
I remember. I don't remember. It was. Yeah.
It was
Maybe 2 years ago.
Probably 2 years.
I don't
'cause-
remember.
well,
No, it would have
last
been
year.
longer because 2 years ago, who knows? I feel like it's COVID almost to the day was 5 years ago. Can
Yeah.
you believe that?
Wow.
That's right. We
Can you
shut
believe
down.
it?
We shut down.
Yeah,
5 years
because
ago.
I started my job on March 16th of 2020. And then my 3-month, 90-day probationary period, I think, is March 16th for my current job. And I'm like, that'll be 5 years since the pandemic started.
Crazy.
When it was just work from home for 2 weeks.
And where are you working now?
I work at Sunbum,
Where is
the
that?
sunscreen company.
Oh, no way.
Do you need free sunscreen?
Maybe.
I have legit unlimited access
and
to
you
it.
said you were on the train. So
Yeah,
where-
so it's there's no manufacturing, but it's just an office building in Encinitas.
Nice.
So it's right by the Encinitas sign.
Okay.
And the train is perfect because the train stop at Encinitas is there, right on that thing, and then you
coaster.
just drop, you boop, boop, 2 blocks.
Nice.
Not even, you just maybe a block.
He's been promising sunscreen for now.
Well, I'm gonna
Okay.
do. I'm gonna.
3 months.
Well,
Thank
so,
you for letting me
so
know.
we
Entire
have.
90-day probationary period. We have gotten shit.
Well,
Okay.
so we get samples from all of our external vendors that make the product because there's no manufacturing, and we get 6 samples for every run that they do, and we keep them because there's nothing to do. So we test one, and then it's okay, this is good, and then we have 5 of ability to do, right? And so it's okay, well, what am I going to do with those? And then we just keep collecting all these things. So there's closets of sunscreen. So
Wow.
let me know. I will bring whatever you need. You need a 30,
Use
you
that,
need a 50.
That scalp
The
one
scalp spray.
For my little thinning spot.
Okay, so we were having problems with that earlier today because of the labeling. And I'm I can't accept these. It's so weird. Cosmetics, coming from drugs and med device, the regulations are so loosey-goosey. They're nah, it's just sunscreen. I was y'all, this label is illegible. And they're it's fine. I was like, no, it's not. We can't keep this.
Couldn't read the writing or what?
Well, so it was, on the like the back of a sunscreen, it has like drug facts because it's technically like a drug, which it's like a whatever.
It's a topical.
Right. So you can't have, and I learned this today, if it is like warped or something like that, it's actually part of the regulation that says it needs to be a certain space in between the like various lines of directions.
Yeah, the white
and
space
it's 0.5 point. So you have to have that much space in between like the lines and in between like whatever. And I was like, that's not happening.
There has to be a certain size font too, right?
Oh, I don't think we're following that rule.
Oh no.
Because it's like very small. I'm like, I can't read that. And I'm not like, I don't have like perfect 25, what is it, 20, I know 20/20 is like normal, but like I don't have like the best vision. I'm like, I can't read that.
That's a sign you're getting older, Joe.
Well, it's funny because when I was younger, I had an astigmatism and I was farsighted. And now that I'm growing like out of it, which is weird because I'm like, I'm not still growing, but like my eyes are changing.
You get more nearsighted as you get older.
Yeah, and so I went to the eye doctor and I was like, so what's the sitch, right? And he's like, well, you're like a little astigmatism in one eye and like you're getting more nearsighted. And I was like, that blows my mind because like my eye shape is like changing. And I'm like, I thought that stuff just stays. I guess not.
Well, I worked for a company years ago that gave you like free medical, basically. Like even the co-pays were covered.
Oh, that's
and so you
nice.
could get LASIK if you wanted to.
Okay.
Wow.
On the plan that I was on.
Did you get LASIK?
Well, I didn't because I went to get the evaluation and they said, well, your corneas are thin, so that just means you can only do this procedure once.
Oh.
And I was probably like 45 or maybe close to 50.
Okay.
So they said, your eyes are going to get worse now.
Yeah.
And so even if we correct it, chances are in 4 or 5 years, you're going to still need reading glasses.
That's what happens with my mom. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, like normal people have that without LASIK. It's just you get to the point where you need them. Mm-hmm. So they were like, it's probably better to wait. And of course, if you wait, then now I have to pay the damn copay.
Well, and they're getting more affordable. But what's funny is my mom, I remember like she got LASIK when I was like really, really young. And it was like, they sent her home with the VHS video of the surgery.
Oh my God.
And we all watched it as a family. This was like in the 90s. Like, I don't know why we did that, but I remember like she got home and she had on the eye patches and she had to like lay down and like couldn't do all this sort of stuff. But she was blind as a bat. Like, not legally blind, but like she would always joke that she had Coke bottle glasses and thick, right? But she had contacts, but then now she has to wear reading glasses. So that's just like a thing.
So it going to that appointment, though, was a great thing because one of the things he pitched to me was, well, we can do this thing called monovision where we correct one eye for up close and another eye for distance.
Oh.
And then, your body adjusts to that. But he said still, that other eye is going to need adjustment in a few years. So I didn't do that, but when I went and got contacts, they did monovision with contacts. So when one contact is distance,
I remember
and
you
the
telling
other's
us that, and I'm like,
and I love that. I have no problem.
And you see totally normal.
Yeah, and I never have to put on
crazy.
readers. And if my eyes change, I just get an adjustment to that up close one.
And are they hard contacts?
They're
Just regular?
So one's an astigmatism. The big one, the distance one, is my right eye, and that has an astigmatism correction. The other one doesn't need it, and so it's like
That's crazy.
It's like 4.75 on one eye, and it's 3.1 on the other eye. Yeah, whatever.
So interesting. Yeah, I didn't realize that the LASIK didn't last. I thought it was forever until I was with Gio, and then he told me he had it, years ago. But he still wears glasses now, and I'm like, well, why are you wearing glasses? He's like,
Wait, really?
It doesn't last.
Yeah.
Well, because your eyes change.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and back in the day when the LASIK was a thing, like, and this is like, I feel like maybe that's where my fear of eyes started. Oh my God, we're having like this is like a breakout therapy moment.
My fear of eyes.
Oh my God.
You're in a safe space. Joe.
No. Oh my God. I'm legitimately like, I remember we watched the video because like I have this weird irrational fear of like my eyes being like harmed and like hurt and like injured. And I don't know, I guess maybe it's from that when we watched my mom's LASIK video.
So I never wore glasses until I was in grad school, but right before I got glasses, one of my friends wore contacts, and it was the first time I ever saw someone put contacts in their eye.
It's scary.
It freaked me out.
Yeah.
I didn't think I could ever do that.
I don't think I can, because I can't even like just like you like, it's like every ounce of your body is like, this isn't supposed to happen. And you have to fight like every like instinct that you have that you're like, no, this is fine, I'm safe. And it's like, ooh.
Do you ever go for the glaucoma test, or they're like, keep your eye open, and they put a little puff in, but you know that puff is coming?
Well, so they don't do the puff.
It's terrifying.
And he does the one that actually like touches it. So he does the like numbs your eye. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I love my eye doctor because he's an older Italian guy, and we always talk about, because I did a lot of like what's it called? Studying like imaging techniques in college. Mm-hmm. So like I was like, oh, well, that's a Goldman tonometer, the gold standard of measuring intraocular pressure. And he's like, that's actually right. And I was like, mm-hmm. And we were like talking about like, yeah, like it does this. And like you measure the reflectance and the refractance of how much depression your cornea is, and it converts it into millimeters of mercury, blah, blah, blah. So we like geek out every time I go get my eyes checked out.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, I love him. Dr. Gualtieri, if you're listening.
Shout out.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Oh, man.
So how's your week?
Well, I think nothing crazy other than on Sunday I denounced Nazism by getting rid of my car.
Well, that's pretty crazy. So,
right. So I have been having, like, as we all know, there's a lot of unrest in the country right now. And I had a Tesla, and it had been paid outright.
And you had only gotten it
less than 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because the whole reason was like, oh, I'm going to get an electric car, like, I'm going to save the world, like, great, blah, blah, blah. And it was like these series of events that were kind of like, I don't know, like, I'm not really feeling it. Like, Musk is a Nazi, and like, maybe his company's going to kind of tank. And like, so last week on Wednesday, I drive to Old Town Station for the train instead of bike to and from. And so I woke up and I was like, fuck, I don't have enough charge in my car to get me there. I could have, but it would have been like a rough thing. And I was like, oh my God. So then at 5:30, I had to go to Mission Valley, Fashion Valley Mall, plug the damn thing in, get back, get ready, rush to work. And then I'm like, oh my God. And so I was like, I don't drive a lot. I miss having a Kia because Tesla stock was tanking. And I was like a little catastrophizing of like, if the company goes under, like, what does that mean for the car? Right. So I was like, that coupled with the fact that I was like, I don't have a charger in my house. Plus, the owner of the company is kind of like a horrible human being. Don't want that.
You know, I listened to some statistics because when you said that, it made me kind of do a little rabbit hole of Tesla stuff. And so in the UK, sales are down 50%.
Oh, all around the world.
Worldwide, it's like 40% down.
Yeah.
In other countries, it's especially higher. In the U.S., there's still a fan base. But you're seeing not only protests, but you're seeing vandalism of the charging stations and the cars.
And that's the other thing. I was like, I don't want my car. Like, I got a little magnet that was like, I got this before Elon went crazy, but like, that's not a thing. Yeah. And like, I was like, okay, like a month ago when this all kind of, or I guess early January, I was like, let me see like other electric vehicles out there. And I was like, oh, my car is not worth that. So like, I don't want to take out a car loan. And I'm like, okay, that's not going to work. And so on Sunday morning, I was like, I think Nick was like at Costco or whatever. And I'm like, I'm a very impulsive person, but like I told him, I was like, I know I'm impulsive, but I've been thinking about this. I'm just FYI, I'm like going to go trade in my car. Because I got like a Kelley Blue Book quote thing, like an instant quote through the Kia dealership. And it was like a guaranteed quote. And it was the value of the MSRP, like a little bit over the MSRP on the car. And I only had to pay taxes.
Nice.
So I was like, fantastic. Like, get this out of my possession. Yeah. I don't want to have it.
Well, and you know, if it continues on the path it seems to be going on right now, their value is going to go down dramatically.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
It dropped $200. It went from $220 to $460, and it's down to like $220 again. The stock.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, the stock it was at a high in December. It's down, I think, 28%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got, and that's where I'm like, it was all of these factors, and I was like, and so like, I go to the dealership, and the funniest part is I was like, okay, the thing that like the straw that broke the camel's back on the decision, I was like, I went on the Kia dealership website, and I was like, ooh, that's a cute green, and I was like, I love green. Green's my favorite color, and so it's like a greeny gray, and I'm like, okay, and it was like there's 6 in inventory, and I go in, and then I'm like, hello, I'm like here to buy a car, right? And they're like, oh yeah, they flock to you like fucking hawks, you know it is. And they're like, oh, like what are you looking for? And
Did you go to the one in Encinitas?
No, I went to the one in Kearney Mesa.
Oh, okay.
So the guy like drives me around. I was like, I didn't see any cars. He's like, oh well, we have them in the back. I was like, okay, well that's why do you have a front lot, right? He's like, well, whatever. So we drive around the whole like property, and he's like, oh, I don't see it. And I was like, oh, and he's like, well, let's just look in the front. And lo and behold, it's quite literally like in front of the dealership. And I was like, oh, that's it.
Nice.
And we did the test drive, and I was like, oh God, I missed like a real car.
Yeah.
And yours is a hybrid now? So
Hybrid, yeah. I had the hybrid before.
So the same one that Paul has.
It's legit this. Well, so I had a 2022 Kia Niro. And then I got rid of that for the Tesla. And you guys have the Niro.
Right.
And so I have just the same version of the car, but 2025.
Okay. We love that car.
I love it.
car.
It's just like, it's funny because like Tesla is a software company,
Right.
not a car manufacturer. And it's funny how the simple ability to turn a knob, to turn up the volume, or to turn up air conditioning, or to like press a button, like is missed in the Tesla ecosystem. Right. I was like, oh wow. And also just like, the car is made to be built like a car. Yeah. Like Tesla is not, the build quality isn't the best.
There's no like off switch, right?
No.
That's one of the things that drove me crazy when I was driving Paul's oral surgeon's car.
Yeah.
I was like,
you just get out. I will say,
really?
Yeah.
I have to remember to lock the car because the one nice thing about Tesla is like it auto locks.
So you should have a setting. There's a lot of little settings in Kia that you can mess with.
Oh.
But there's a setting that could say like if after a certain number of minutes.
Oh, like walk away lock?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good. I have to still understand. Like I will say there's like this random button like under the dashboard that I press, and it just like started lighting up blue, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it's like some like security thing. I was like, I don't think I bought a security system. And I'm like Googling, I even posted on Reddit. I was like, what is this blue light in my car? And like people on Reddit are like both trolly and also not. And so one of the guys was like, it's the seat ejection button. And I was like, okay, that's not helpful. And then like I went down to like Google searching or whatever, and it's like, oh, that's like a thing that like they install for like GPS to like be able to do like the app. And I was like, oh, and it was like, I got the like manual, and I was like, to exit valet mode, you have to press and hold for 3 seconds. And then the light went off, and I was like, thank fucking God. Oh. So long story short, that was like the highlight of my week. And then,
but do you feel better?
Yes.
I put myself in your shoes, and if I had I would have bought a Tesla for the exact same reason you did back then. And I feel really
it was
bad
nauseating.
It
I felt like a weight, and it was weird because it's like it's just a car, but there was just so much like
bad energy.
Yeah, and then I got in the Kia, and like I was like like after everything went down, and it's so funny too because they're like, are you going to finance? And I was like, oh no, I have a trade-in guarantee, so like I'm just going to pay your taxes. They're like, well, are we okay? Well, we can finance the. I was like, no, the taxes are like $2,000. Like I'm not taking out a loan on such a small amount. And he's like, oh, that makes sense. I'm like, I will give you the cash. Just like give me the vehicle. I don't need to do anything. Right. Like it's a transaction.
How long did it take you?
I was there for 3 hours.
Yeah, which isn't bad.
Yeah, no, I got there. So no, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 or 4. Yeah. And there was no haggling. No, you know what? There was a little haggling because the MSRP was like $34.50, right? And I was like, well, online it was 32. And I was like, and Balkia in National City is 31. So I'm like, what are you going to do? And they're like, well, I'm like, trying to play it harder. They're like, we'll do the 32. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I always do when you look at the sticker and there's all that extra stuff that they put on. I'm not paying for that. Take it
Yeah.
off. I don't care. You
Take
can
it
just
off.
take it
And
off.
they want to always
Take it
sell
off.
you. I will say that the finance guy, like, I think since they knew I wasn't financing anything, they didn't try to push it. He's like, I have to ask, do you want the extended warranty? Do you want the oil change? And I was like, I know that you have to. I was like, I'm going to say no to everything. He's like, I know, I just legally have to ask and prompt you. And I was like, okay, I get it. He was so funny. He's like, I was like, yeah, you know, like once you get in your 30s, and he's like, well, I'm not there yet. And I was like, oh. He's like, I'm only 25. And I was like,
Oh, dear Lord.
oh my God, you just were born.
Child.
I was like, what was it like exiting the hospital with your mother yesterday? And this guy's like a finance, like, I it was like a weird, like, this guy's like a finance person at like 25. I'm like, oh my God.
He's 25 and he's in finance.
I'm looking for a guy in finance.
I got
is
my
it?
Kia
6'5"?
at Kearney Mesa Kia also.
Wait, which one do you
I have
have?
a Kia Sportage Hybrid.
Oh, is that new?
2024. Yeah. Well, I got it. I'm also...
Because you had a Toyota, right?
I had a
Hyundai?
Mazda
CX-5. That's right.
And then on New Year's Eve, not this year, but last year, 2023, New Year's Eve, I just randomly went to the Kia dealer and got a Kia Sportage Hybrid. But I had to leave and come back. So they wouldn't give me the price I wanted because of all the extras.
You have to be willing to walk away.
I saw the price online, same situation, and then we sit down, and then the price is down. I'm like, no. And he's like, well, all this stuff, we've added all these things. And I'm like,
I don't want
Why
that.
didn't ask you to add it?
Oh!
You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's like-
firm
I'm like,
Andrew
Take
Davis.
it off. He's like, well, we can't remove the security system.
Yes,
I'm
you
like,
can.
Well, that's not my problem. I'm like, I didn't ask you to install it. You know what I'm saying? So,
I would
like,
have paid to see this.
So I just left. I was like, you know what? Here's where I'm at. Like, I don't need a new car because my car was paid off, and I was going to have to finance that one. I'm like,
You were playing so hard to
I
get.
I would like to have it, but I don't need it. It's a
Right.
want, not a need. So I'm going to leave, and then if you can call me if you can figure out if you can do the price that I want.
You figure out how to make this work.
Yeah.
And then just reach
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
and
my
it was like
God.
3 hours later he called.
I am so like,
Yeah.
it's a game. It's
It
a
is. Oh,
yeah.
negotiation game. And Paul is not like that. Like
Yeah.
Paul wants to just
Get
have
in and
it-
get out, yeah.
He shows all his cards. Like if he loves a car, he loves the car.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was like, Paul, you have to be willing. We can get this same car in 4 dealerships in
Yep.
Southern California.
Oh, yeah.
So just be ready. We might walk away.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell them, I'm like, listen, I'm not doing this back and forth.
Right.
This is what, and they were really cool. We went to the one up in like Encinitas or
Like Carlsbad?
Carlsbad.
Nice.
Because one of his friends that he's known for years, like had a connection there.
Oh, nice.
So his friend like referred the salesperson and
Got
it
it.
was a great experience.
Got it. Nice.
But even then it was like 4.5 hours.
I know, and it's like...
And it was not a complex transaction.
No, and I don't know what it is. And I will say, though, that like I didn't have to physically sign anything because prior in all car purchases was like, sign the paper, then you turn the thing, and you sign the next paper. It was all online and all digital,
yeah.
which I was like, it's about damn time.
That's nice.
I will tell you, CarMax, because that's where I got my Mini Cooper. CarMax is amazing.
Yep.
I pre-applied. Their price was online. I basically had my financing approved before I ever showed up at the door. We showed up at the door. The guy's like, "Oh, I was expecting you." All the paperwork's ready. I mean, we were in and out in 2 hours.
It's so easy.
Really?
I've had 2 different cars that I got from CarMax back in Tennessee, and it's so easy.
Yeah,
So
I
easy.
do it again
Yeah.
in a second.
Yeah.
They were just really great.
Yeah, they are.
And I think the part of that 2 hours was they were washing it for us.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like that was a little
Yeah.
bit waiting an extra 15
That doesn't
minutes.
take long, though.
No.
Let's be real.
And then they wanted me to put the big damn bow on it and take a. I was like, no.
I
we're-
love
For
that.
real?
Yeah.
Why?
That's
For their
marketing.
advertising?
Yeah. so can
Were
put
you
it on
like,
your
am I going to
Instagram.
get paid royalties when you use this on
That's
your
like,
website?
I don't need to advertise for CarMax.
Right.
It's okay.
Oh my God.
I'll let you put your frame on the license tag.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
That's my gift.
Oh geez. Yeah, so that was kind of my week. So obviously a lot this past weekend, and then like you said, Nick's parents are in town. I'm just excited to kind of like hang out and see what we do. What about you?
So I've had a fun week. Paul's away, so it's just kind of weird. And poor Baxter's really missing
Is
him.
he?
Yeah,
Aw.
he's definitely missing him. In fact, one day Paul FaceTimed me, and Baxter was like on our bed, and I went inside to take a picture, like to show
Yeah.
Paul Baxter. and Baxter heard his voice.
Oh, did he
and,
get all crazy?
He got up and went to the door thinking he was there. I felt so bad.
Baxy Poo.
He's a good boy, but he definitely is feeling like weird about it.
Oh.
But he's doing good. Like he's been really easy.
Oh yeah.
For the last few days, and I've had people are taking care of me. They're like I had friends have me come over last Friday,
like care package dinners.
No, like they're just like, oh, well, we're not, we're just hanging out watching TV, and come on over. And so I was like,
that's nice.
Okay, and
Yeah,
they
you
made
got nothing else to do.
pizzas. It was really great.
Okay. Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, it was that was fun. And then I had friends of ours that we had just had dinner like a week ago. Their kitchen got messed up, and they're now fans of the podcast. So shout out.
What do you mean their kitchen got messed up?
They live in the Uptown Common. I forget what the name of the development is by Ralph's.
Oh, yeah.
That really big one.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's called Uptown.
And so they have a person above them, and the pipes broke above them and rained into their kitchen. So they're like, I think it was 10 days without a kitchen.
Wow.
Oh God! Well, they were
dry
living in
things
there,
out.
right?
So they're still living. It's their own condo.
Oh my God!
So because of that, I just said, "Listen, come over." I had made pasta sauce, and I said this will be really easy, but come over for dinner. And
Wait,
so
was it the pasta that you guys? The pasta.
It was the good pasta.
What did you make for us with the sausage?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Nice.
So good. Like a creamy, spicy yum.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Well, no,
was
this was
so
just
good.
my normal meat sauce. But, but I used the same pasta. The stuff we got from Little
that
Italy
stuff was so good.
was so good. Yeah. So that's been pretty much it. I've been baking about a bunch, and we had cheesecake today.
It was so good.
I made Paul a little one that I froze, so he'll get to have some when he comes home.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
That's love, girl.
That is
But
love.
I mean,
That's love.
I guess you just freeze it and then put it in the fridge when you're wanting to have it.
In fact, I made the cheesecake we had. I made on like Saturday that I froze, and so I just defrosted it this morning.
I would
Wow.
have never known.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't. It freezes.
I
pretty
guess
well.
that makes sense because they have frozen cheesecakes that you take out and put in the fridge.
Yeah, Maria Calendar, she does it all the time.
She does do it all the time. Oh my God.
She's been doing it for years.
Now I want pot pie. Oh God, that pot pie at Costco.
Oh my God! I saw a recipe online yesterday for someone who made their own chicken pot pie.
Okay.
That I will tell you, I'm going to make this now.
Okay. Well, whenever we can help if you need taste
It
testers.
looked really good, and it had a couple of like innovations. So
Innovation?
yeah, like they did a couple of things that were cool.
Oh.
So we'll see.
Well, you're going to do the same things?
Yeah, well, I mean, they had like a really deep dish pie, like tart shell.
so it was thick.
So it was thick, and it was one where like the you could drop the bottom wasn't attached, so you could pull the sides down and actually cut into it straight.
Oh my God!
It made me really. I'm gonna.
You got aroused watching it. I'm getting aroused thinking about that.
So my hardest thing this week was watching the presidential speech last night, and I didn't watch all of it. I just watched parts, but it got me so disgusted and so angry.
Nick had it on, and I told him, I was like, I refuse to even give any energy to this.
Yeah, it was pretty.
But
crazy.
then today, I listened to all the Pod Save America debrief podcast episodes or whatever.
So many lies. I mean,
it's all lies.
Crazy how so this to me is the epitome of that speech.
Yep.
He said he was listing off all the savings that they did, and so he said something about transgender mice, $8 million for transgender mice.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't transgender. It was trans something else, like transcordant or something. It was like he never read it.
Oh, so it was a different term?
Yeah. It was a way that they treat mice so that they can, it accelerates being able to test for cancers and other diseases.
Oh.
But it's a genetic mutation, basically.
Not a gender identity.
Not a gender. It has nothing to do with gender.
I mean, turn the mice trans. Let them have their life.
My
Jeez.
God.
And then, God, don't make them compete in sports. Because the other mice are going to be like, this isn't an advantage.
Put them all on the wheels.
There were only 10 mice that were trying to do that, but let's change the rules for the whole world.
Less than one.
But that was just the epitome of how ridiculous this is. You're gonna make this all sound amazing, and that was the part that was the most disheartening to me. Was like you could try to listen to it objectively, and if you believe even that 50% of it was true, you go, okay, he's doing good things. But I knew that only like 10% of it was true.
But it was all lies. And that's where I'm like, I can't. And this came after Zelensky, that whole kerfuffle.
Oh, that whole thing was...
Like, I couldn't, like, I can't. No.
We'll debrief. Andrew Davis, what's giving you... let's talk about mouth to mouth.
Mouth to mouth resuscitation.
I was just as bad at transition as...
No, I love it. It's our shtick.
Yeah, our new thing. We're going to come out of nowhere.
Awkward
Transitions.
changes into the new segment.
Yeah, segues. What's giving you life right now?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the program.
We're thrilled to have you.
You're a friend of the pod, yes.
What's giving me life? Well, my week was great. Last week I had a friend in town, Travis, that was in the wedding from Orlando. Mm-hmm. He booked a wedding out here. He does hair and makeup there in Orlando. He has a big clientele. So the girl that he shares a studio with now, she travels a lot for work. She does hair and makeup for weddings all over. And she needed help with a wedding here in Temecula.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he came out last Sunday and then did the wedding on Monday. And then he spent like 3 extra days with us.
Oh.
Yeah, so I got to play tourist a little bit.
Oh, that's great.
Went to the Little Italy Farmers Market on Wednesday. Which was...
There's a farmer's market on Wednesday?
I had no idea. I took a few days off.
I thought it was on Sundays.
Yeah, it's on
Saturdays.
Sunday or Saturday and Wednesday. So Wednesday's much less crowded. It's a little condensed.
Okay.
But it's much more enjoyable. Much, less people. And then Tuesday, he wanted to go up to LA.
Oh, God.
We went to Melrose. Have you seen this guy called the Queen of Melrose?
No, what is it?
His name is Cosmo, and he's on all the memes. He's wearing a leopard number, and a lot of people are doing memes because he's talking about his family, like
and the really deep voice.
They went from Catholic to Jehovah. This whole thing.
Yeah.
They're making pasta on Sundays. This
one.
Yeah.
Have you seen
that?
So Cosmo.
I didn't know that was
the
person's
is
name.
A lovely person, and he has 2 clothing stores on Melrose Avenue.
Oh,
One of them's called Cosmo's Glam Squad. And Travis, when he came in last summer for the wedding, he connected with him, went up and met him.
No shit.
Yeah. And so this time we wanted to go back and see him again. So we both, we had to go to Melrose. We had to wait for him to show up at the store.
Oh, God.
He's so funny. Like, just the way he is on camera, like, that's exactly, you go in the store and it's all this, like, crazy clothing, really, unique pieces. Because he's dressed like, he did like, the boy bands back in the day when they would have like the leather, silver outfits. Like he did that. People would contract him to do their tours.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. So he's, very...
So more costumey than...
Oh,
more
so he's
costumey.
like a legit fashion designer.
Oh, yeah. He's dressed the stars for many years.
Okay. Cosmo.
And then actually when we went in, a lady was in there talking to him, and then he let us know after she left that she was the one that dressed Destiny's Child in the early days.
Oh.
Holy cow.
When they had like the leather outfits.
Oh my God.
And you would never know it by looking at her. Very just like this small little lady. Yeah, unassuming. Anyway, he's just like behind the counter smoking Marlboro Lights. Just like, it's so funny. Travis like did his makeup, had some conversation, and then we were on our way. But
Does he talk like...
He talks exactly like that.
God.
He's like, oh my God, Travis, I just got over a hellacious cold. He's like, it's so good to see you again. That's his exact speaking voice.
He sounds like he smokes like 20 packs a day.
Yeah, it was delightful. And then, I like went out to use the restroom and I come in and he's like, Travis told me all about you. You're happily married. Congratulations. Just like the whole bit was
That's a
just
very good impression.
It was the
You found your
best.
new calling.
No, I loved him. It was
You're a
like
Cosmo impersonator.
So sweet. Anyway, so yeah, that was that. And then what else? Yeah, I think that's about it. And then had a chill weekend. I love the podcast episode from last week, the burgers.
Oh, the burger tastings, yeah.
You know why? I don't know if you know this about me, but she worked at Wendy's for 4 years.
Did you?
No kidding.
Yes.
So tell us all about.
I started when I was 16. As soon as I got my driver's license, I applied, got the job, and I worked there all through nursing school.
Oh,
Wow, that's crazy.
Until I was 20. And then, once I got my nursing license and I was able to resign at Wendy's.
You didn't want to work. You didn't want to work at Wendy's.
But you know what? Here's a really funny fact about me working at Wendy's. When I started working at Wendy's, I was at my heaviest weight. I was, 16 years old. I weighed like 270. And I lost 100 pounds.
Working at Wendy's?
Working at Wendy's.
Because you were on your feet all day.
I was on my feet all day. I was exercising. And I would eat their grilled chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
And baked potato.
Okay.
Chili. I would do the low-fat stuff.
Right. Okay. What, were you like a front desk person?
I did it all.
Were you a cook?
She ended up being a shift manager by the end of it.
In college, I worked in McDonald's.
I wanted to ask you about that. Yeah.
Yeah, but only for a short time.
Okay.
So when I got to my undergraduate was in Dallas, Texas, really close to where Texas Stadium was.
Okay.
And the campus, they were supposed to give me a campus job, and I got there like the last week in August to start school. And it was like 102 degrees.
Oh my God.
And they said, "Oh, your on-campus job is landscaping." I was
No.
like, "Fuck no, I am not doing that." This boy is an office boy, not an outdoor landscaping.
Yeah.
There's no rugged here.
No, ma'am. I don't. The only shears or the only pruning I will be doing is manscaping.
Well, and I was not used to that heat, but I also like
Yeah, it's hot. It's dry too.
I
yeah.
sweat like a pig, so
Yeah.
I was like, "This is not going to
No.
work." So I didn't do that, and I needed to find a job. And I didn't have a car, so the only place like you could walk to conveniently was McDonald's, and it happened to be the McDonald's where all the Cowboys fans went before games.
So funny.
On a Sunday when it was game day,
So
it was
busy.
insane,
So busy. Oh.
But it was fun. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a fun job, and it was free food as a college student. It was nice to break away. And I did like it. And if you were good at process, they're so process oriented, that once you learn their system, you can pretty much do anything, and they really like people who are organized and So I did the competition. I was the fry man on the competition.
No way.
For our store.
I love that.
Crazy.
I also feel like it makes you a better person working in food.
Yeah.
Like being a kinder human being, because you deal with like such assholes as customers. Like when I was at Starbucks, there were like rude ass like customers, and I'm like, I will never be mean ever to like
so
to
true.
servers or people.
ever, ever.
I worked all through even high school. I worked in grocery stores primarily, like through high school. And I think my first job at 14 was like a candy store. Worked in a candy store.
Oh my God, we
Nice.
did in the candy store.
I was a candy store. Yeah. But it was, I was always working in those kinds of positions, and going into restaurant, like I did that one in my freshman year, and then second half of freshman year, I got a campus job in the computer center, much more suited to my demeanor. It was more demure.
It was more air conditioned.
More air conditioning. And the computer was a big monster computer that needed air conditioning. So
Absolutely, yeah.
I am like you, Mr. Computer. I need air conditioning.
Oh my God.
So yeah, so we after that first year though, I ended up working like in a real restaurant where you made tips, and all of a sudden I realized you can make a lot of money and all cash and work in a fun place, for just a few hours every night. So I worked in almost like the Bennigan style Fern Bar type restaurant.
Nice.
Called O'Connor's.
Oh, nice.
And then it turned to Jeremiah's. And then I moved on from there to like the Four Seasons hotel. And there
Moving on up.
So you move on up, and you realize the more expensive the meal gets, the more you make.
Oh yeah.
And the less you work.
Yeah.
So it was
True.
definitely
Yeah, you
work
can make
smart,
a good living.
not hard.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, when I left the Four Seasons in Dallas to come to the DC one, because I did my grad school. So my first year in DC, I worked for the Four Seasons restaurant. most of the people there were career waiters. That's all
Yeah.
they did. Or they may have a side gig doing real estate during the day, but their money was made as, and raising their
tips,
families.
right?
And, I after that first year, I went and did like a internship in my field, a 75% salary cut.
75?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was all cash. So like in the restaurant days, you had a bill coming due. Oh, I'm working 2 nights. I got that covered, no problem, And now you work where you get like a paycheck and most of it goes to taxes.
Yeah.
It was
Oh
a
my
big
God.
awakening.
Ew.
Wow.
So just cash money, everything.
Yeah.
Cash money.
Man.
So did either of you watch the Oscars?
No.
It was a non-event.
Nick
to me.
Nick did, because it was Sunday, right?
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I got back from somewhere and like, I don't know. I was like, I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Cause it was when I did my car and I'm like, I've been out for like 4 hours. I just want to like sit and be a vegetable. So yeah.
I watched the opening, which was beautiful.
Conan O'Brien was hosting. There were some funny moments.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But I didn't, yeah.
I wasn't really invested in a lot of it. I mean, I didn't agree or disagree. I didn't really care
same.
emotionally.
I didn't see any of the movies. So.
I saw some of them.
Yeah.
And like the ones I watched, I really liked, and a few of them I just didn't understand why they got nominated anyway. Like,
Did you see Anora?
No, Anora.
Which one? Anora? That's the one that won, right?
yeah, and now I want to see it, of course.
I don't.
but
What's the premise of it? I don't know what the premise is. Like, I don't have any idea what the movie's about.
There's this lady named Nora.
I'm like, I don't even know what word you're saying.
I have no idea.
A what?
Anora, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you're right. A girl named Nora. I don't know. I have not seen it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe when it's on streaming. In 4
Maybe.
months.
Well, I was trying to watch as many of them, but as you got closer and closer to the Oscars, they started doing this. You have to rent it for $22.
Oh my
or
God.
something.
Yeah.
my goodness.
And that was like Wicked. Wicked, I think, is finally going to be on streaming like at the end of March.
Yeah. Mid-March.
And I'll watch them that way, and I'll be fine. We did watch like the Demi Moore one,
Oh, The Substance?
Substance, which we thought was not deserving of
Really?
a Best Picture nod. I just did not. It was too gory.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I didn't even think her performance was that amazing that it warranted a Best,
Interesting.
actress kind of nomination either. But it took a lot of bravery. I mean, it was a courageous role because she was basically, kind of embracing her. I'm not a young, beautiful person anymore.
Yeah, her age. Yeah.
And even if they enhanced that, made it worse with makeup, I mean, it was still very brave of her to do that.
Yeah.
But it also made me feel really old because I feel just like she looked.
But you don't feel that way. You feel young.
I do because I hang around with young people like you.
We're keeping you
A
young.
young
Yeah.
spirit.
I don't feel young.
Are either of you watching? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Are either of you watching Severance on Apple TV?
So I watched the first 2 seasons.
Oh, I thought
But
that
I
was
haven't
season
watched the
2.
current one.
No, the season 2.
I watched the
current.
first season then. I didn't watch
Okay,
the second
current.
one.
Yeah,
I haven't watched any of it, but I wanted to.
We've been watching it the past few days.
The first
Is it really
season?
good?
It's pretty darn good. And then the other thing we're watching is Paradise on Hulu.
Oh, what's that about?
It's about the world has ended and these
Too close to home. Too close to home.
a catastrophic event has taken place, and these higher ups have created this underground sort of world somewhere on one of the square states, and created like a
Like a safe haven?
a safe haven, and and
Worth
the
it, though?
drama. It's worth it. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Is it like futuristic?
It opens up. Yeah, it opens like the first. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, it's good.
Okay.
it's a drama.
So
drama.
when Paul travels, I look for things to watch, and so he's probably not. That's not in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's
but it
pretty
would
good.
be in mine. I've been watching. Stupid, but on the Roku channel, I've been watching Merlin, which was like
Merlin.
a 1 season. The wizard Merlin from Arthur.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Knights of Arthur.
I knew, yeah.
It's so fun. It's like a very lighthearted, very dragony kind of.
Okay.
30-minute episode.
Is it
stories.
animated or real
no,
life?
it's real life.
Oh.
And it's like British actors and low budget, but it is perfect for this because like it just gives me a little bit of
a
a
variety.
storyline
Yeah.
and and they're all, everybody's good looking, and there's all this tension and magic, and so it's fun.
Merlin? I've never heard of that show.
I had never either. It was like
just
put
suggested,
on the one of the ads they put on the side. So I was like, oh, okay, I like.
You got targeted.
I know.
Oh yeah, always. What did I say the one on Hulu was called?
Paradise.
Thank you. Okay, I wanted to make sure I said the right thing because I'm like, wait, did I say the right? Because I keep getting, I keep calling Severance something else. Succession.
And that's
I keep getting those words like.
What's Succession?
It's another
Succession is
series.
another series.
But
on
I'm like,
HBO Max,
I get like
right?
word jumble and like
You should
say
tell
the wrong
people,
word.
oh, I really love this show. It's called Succession, and it's about getting your brain removed from work, and it's great. And then I
totally
highly
different
recommend it.
show.
And then start watching Succession. What?
So the thing about Severance, the first season that I watched, towards the end, it started to feel a little bit like Lost, where all this stuff was happening and they didn't give you a lot of reason.
Yeah,
so
it's kind of slow.
It is. It's
slow.
But I really liked
But
it.
it's very. It kept me interested for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost, when they're all on the island, that
Yeah.
show. That was. I remember when that came out, and it was what's the thing in the field? What's the thing in the cornfield? And it was this monster.
Well, and then there were numbers, and the numbers kept coming up in different. It was all
I
kinds
stopped
of-
watching it after season 3 or 4.
We watched it right
whole
till the
thing?
end, and then the ending was very disappointing. Did you
Well,
watch?
because wasn't it just basically they're all in this
They were all-
in between or something?
They were all dead, and
Yeah.
this was a dream, a death dream, or something.
or it
No
was they're
way.
in purgatory or some sort of thing.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
a total psych.
I only watched the first few episodes, and that's all
I'd still
I got.
watch it again.
Yeah.
I would still.
I think I would watch it now with more maturity I have more life under me, if that makes I'm older, because I didn't really understand it back in the day, because it was 20 years ago, I think
it's hard to believe that.
maybe
true.
I think it was 2000.
It's been a while.
Almost 25, and it was very hip for the time.
And I mean, at the time, our kids were teenagers, and it was suitable for them. They enjoyed it too. And so
Yeah.
it was one of these things you could do as a family that was very compelling. Let's watch this.
And it was on.
wonder
I
what's
think it
gonna
was
happen
either
next.
a Sunday night or it was primetime TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it'd be oh, Lost is on. Did you watch Lost? And I'm oh yeah, God, what was the bald guy? Locke?
I don't remember.
I think. Yeah.
Did either of you watch Manifest?
No.
It was okay. So that's the one where they're in the
plane
plane, but not
that
the plane.
disappears.
And they okay.
The plane disappears.
I had downloaded it when we were going to London, and I was going to start watching it because there's the hot guy from Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, it does.
But I haven't.
I watched all the seasons. Gio made such fun of me for
Is it good?
It's good, but it's just cheesy. You
I
know
love
what I mean?
that.
It's almost like a soap opera.
Yeah,
but
I love it.
I loved it.
Because they I think I started watching the first episode and I never finished it. But it was I'm ooh, this is right up my alley.
Yeah, the plane disappears, and then they spend all these seasons,
But, it's-
trying to figure out where they went.
But there's time that lapsed.
Yeah.
So then they come back and all their loved ones are older, but
Yeah.
they're the same age.
Yeah.
Oh, funky.
Yeah. Manifest
Yeah,
on Netflix.
it's pretty cool.
Seasons 1 through whatever.
So, Andrew, since the last time you were on the show, you got married.
I got married.
Yes,
Yeah, we got
How was
married.
married life for you? Any different than not married?
No
life?
different at all.
Oh,
No. No, you know what? I think, to be honest, full disclosure, I think after the wedding, my anxiety levels went down. Because planning the wedding, there's a...
It is a huge amount of
Yeah,
energy.
there's a huge amount of energy and anxiety. So it was nice. It was a lot of fun. But after it was over, we could just sort of take a deep breath. Okay, that's done.
and you haven't gone on your honeymoon yet, right?
No, we're actually going
May?
Soon.
April 23rd.
To Barcelona, right?
We're going to Barcelona for 3 nights, and then we get on a cruise from there, 7 nights in the Mediterranean, and we go to where do we go? South of France.
Wait,
And
when are you going?
April 23rd.
Okay, because we're in Cannes, the
wow.
13th to the 20th
Of April.
of April.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so funny.
You're in Cannes on my birthday. That's
Wait.
the 13th.
Oh, you know what's funny? I think for the past 2 years, me or Nick haven't been here for either you or Paul's birthday. Because this year in June, I think I won't be here because I'm going to I'll be in Napa for a bachelorette for Paul's birthday.
Are you going for business or pleasure?
For pleasure.
Oh,
Absolutely.
excuse
You're
me.
going up to Napa for a bachelorette party?
Yeah.
Maybe Paul and Nick and I will go to Napa for a wine tasting.
Go for it. I think
see if
that
he wants
June's a weird month because it's like I have that, and then I think he's doing Yellowstone with his family.
Oh, okay.
Or Yosemite.
Yosemite's in California.
It's the one with the geyser.
That's Yellowstone in Wyoming.
I almost called it Crystal Geyser. What's the fucking thing?
I love that.
Old Faithful.
Old Faithful, yeah. The farting lady. But no, so you less anxiety.
Yeah, much less anxiety.
Okay.
So yeah, and looking forward to the honeymoon. Yeah.
That's great. So you're going to be in Barcelona just a few weeks before we are.
Oh, you're going to Barcelona as well?
Yeah, we're flying. We're doing our cruise that we were going to do for COVID.
Oh, nice.
And so we go the middle of May.
Nice.
And we're there for 3 weeks. So first week is Austria. The second week is the cruise. And then the final week is Barcelona.
Nice. Your cruise is Greek Isles?
Yes.
Okay, nice.
If they're still there. Last I heard, there were volcanoes. So who knows?
No.
Is it Pompeii?
No.
Oh, we're going to Pompeii.
He's going to Pompeii.
Yeah.
Italy.
Is Pompeii in Italy?
Yeah. Santorini is where they were having
there's
those.
Yeah. It's the caldera.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Those are volcanic.
I remember when I went, I was like, so like, when's the last time the volcano erupted? They're like, centuries, it's fine, hundreds of years.
Well, there's been like a bunch of earthquakes.
Yeah.
And there's, so.
Oh my goodness.
They're like, and I was like, what would happen if the volcano erupted? They're like, you just stay on the island and hope it doesn't hit you. Because you can see it, it's in the middle of like
Right.
the alcove. Or whatever, like the little crescent of Santorini, like the whatever island, there's like there's a volcano.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know. I've been to Santorini, but I didn't know that.
Oh.
Notice that.
Did you stay in Ia?
Know that.
Oia?
I guess so.
OIA?
I stayed in Ia.
I just still, to this day, like, it was like so fucking busy. Like,
Yeah.
so touristy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. We'll share notes about where you're going to do while you're in Barcelona. So
Exactly. Yeah. How
Well,
many?
you guys are there too.
we're there for
yeah.
like 5 days.
Oh,
Nice. Where you stay? Oh, and we booked. I think we talked to you. We booked
The
one of those
H10?
H10s. Yeah.
Nice. Did you get little like tours for the Sagrada Familia and like Park Güell?
We're gonna
and all
book
the
that
stuff
soon.
with Antoni Gaudí?
Yeah, we're gonna book that soon. Because last time I checked, it was too far out.
You guys,
Yeah. We got the
Paul and Andy
card.
searched for all the stuff, so they got the deals.
We got the
nice.
Barcelona card, so like it gets you into many different things. Not the two main ones, but you get a discount for your tickets. For
Okay.
those.
Nice.
There's also an Arc de Triomphe in Spain, in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Which is not the same one as
Paris.
Maybe it's the Arc de something.
I think we're gonna do. There's a hop on hop off bus situation.
Oh, okay.
And you can get like a day of that, and then it'll also get you Sagrada Familia and the Parkway entrance. So I may do that sort of combo ticket.
Okay.
We can like take the bus around one day, and then the next
Yeah.
day have entrance to those two things, and then take public transit.
It's
around.
really funny. There's so many things to do there.
It's so much.
Like we haven't really gotten into the what are we going to do on what day kind
Yeah.
of thing, and we might
Same.
not even until we get there.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a few things where you need a reservation
Right.
in advance.
Probably
Right.
Sagrada Familia. My only tip is for both of you, Sagrada Familia, either do it at sunrise or sunset.
because the light coming through the windows is amazing, right?
It's like breathtaking.
Yeah.
It's so like you go, it's so emotional because it's so beautiful. And like, just if you do it at sunrise or sunset, I went at like 5 p.m. and it wasn't any of those, but it was still like impactful because it's beautifully like, such beautiful architecture. And I think the Sagrada Familia is like almost done finally.
Almost done. Yeah.
Supposed to be open in 26 or completed in 26.
Yeah. Like after what, like 100 something years? It's been like a long time.
50
years.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous for our. We have a stop in Rome, and we booked a tour through the cruise line. But it's the year of Jubilee,
Yeah, the
or what
Jubilee.
have you.
What's Jubilee?
It's the Catholic Church does this special thing, and the Pope, they have it. I think it's every 9 years, or is there? But the weird thing of it now, though, is the Pope's health is so bad.
I was going to say he may not be
true.
alive.
Well, that would impact it even more because then we're in the conclave movie basically.
Oh my God,
having
yeah.
a new pope.
Finding a new pope.
Oh,
But a
wow.
lot of the stuff that, like, so we have our friends going on this cruise are going to be doing Rome either before or after.
Okay.
And they've already booked like a private Vatican tour. And
Yeah.
so they did all the things you have to do in advance, especially considering the tourism increase. But they said, like, if they're calling a conclave, those parts of the Vatican are not accessible. They shut it all down.
Yeah, our tour, we actually booked a tour through the cruise. It's like a full, 8 or 9 hour tour. We were supposed to get to see, a lot of different things. And they already emailed us saying, like, we may not get to see whatever that
Sistine
cathedral.
Chapel.
Yeah, one of those things. Like, you may not get to enter. You may just get to see the outside.
Are you
of
going to
it.
be able to see the Crown of Thorns?
I don't think so.
I think they have a like epoxy Crown of Thorns in the Vatican. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't quote me. It's in one of those places.
So one of the things about Italy that's really funny is relics, or like what are supposed to be either body parts or pieces of wood from the true cross, or the veil that Veronica put on Jesus' face.
The Shroud of Turin.
The Shroud of Turin.
Yes,
There
which
are all
is
these things,
disintegrating.
right?
Yeah.
So, but there's all these things, and like if you go around the world and find all the pieces of wood from the true cross, there's more than one cross. Right?
You could build the ark.
No, because there were 3 crosses. Remember?
But there's only one true cross.
But
right?
maybe it was one of the other 2.
But that whole idea of we've got these holy relics and they're like enshrined in glass.
It's like epoxy or something.
And then they build the church around that.
yeah,
Like
they're in like the basement, and they have like
the catacombs.
also like sworn like priests, but they're like security guards to protect the relics.
There's so
Wow.
much cool like.
There was a Netflix documentary I think I watched on like one of those, and it was really interesting.
So in Rome, there's this very cool, very not known church called I don't remember the name of the church, but the monastic order are called the Capuchin monks, and it's their color of their robes is the same color as cappuccino. That's how you can remember their name.
Oh, I was thinking of the monkey.
But if you go into their crypts underneath the main church, they do like skeleton designs. I'll show you a picture after this recording, but it is like 1,000 skeleton skulls all arranged in this kind of artistic way. It's the creepiest, goriest thing, but it's real. They're
But artsy,
real,
huh.
and that's part like how they venerate the monks that came before them in the crypts. It was very creepy.
It's like, oh, I'm just going to go visit my ancestors. Got to go down the catacombs. That's him right there. That's his skull.
And it's a cool thing to tour. But you're only going to have a little bit of time there on the same day.
Yeah.
The hardest thing about Rome on a cruise is there's so much like that happens at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and so you have to be back on the boat.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was like, what do you
And
mean?
the cruise at the port is like an hour
Yes.
outside of the city. Yeah, so
Jeez.
we're going to be getting on a bus, and it's an hour each way.
Oh my God.
So that's factored into the day. We're there for 12 hours, but it's like 2 hours of that is, So that's,
Make sure you have a backpack.
Well,
Or like a fanny pack.
yeah, we have fanny packs. We got those slash proof ones. I think
Oh,
that
the
you
pack
talked about.
safe?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah. Because some of the tours they said like for instance Pompeii, you're not allowed to have a backpack. Yeah, you can't take a backpack into Pompeii.
You know what? When we were in London, I think some of the places, because it's like we don't want you to knock something over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So we
But
just
a lot
got
of
the
those,
fanny
if
packs.
you're on a bus tour, you can leave it on the bus.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Because we did a bus tour down to Pompeii and then to Naples.
That's the ruins, right?
Yes.
Of the
Yeah.
volcano.
It was so we did the top of Mount Vesuvius. You can go up there, almost like the caldera, and see. There's still places where it smokes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was
So
scary.
crazy.
And then, but that's kind of like a bit of an uphill walk. So we got our steps in that morning, and then we did Pompeii, which was super fun.
Italy, I still want to do Italy, but I think Italy, you need to have like 2 weeks to like hit the spots.
Oh, and even then,
Oh, yeah.
you're only going to scratch the surface, but you
Oh,
get
yeah.
a really good cross section.
I would want like a week of northern Italy and then like a week of southern Italy.
But even that, like if you could go to Venice and spend a few days, and you could
Yeah.
go to Milan, you could go to Cinque Terre.
That's where I wanna
and they're
go.
all dramatically different.
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And then northern Italy, you do like what's the one with the F?
Florence.
Firenze.
That's that more central, but you're in the right.
There, Rome, and then
Yeah.
north. Milan's north.
Milan, Cinque Terre, Venice are all on the north side.
Yeah.
And then like Rome,
Because
and
I
Florence
flew
and
into
Naples.
like Milan was here. I flew into Malpensa, and then I was staying over
Yeah.
even more west.
But like Florence is south of Cinque Terre, then
Yeah.
Rome is south of that, and then Naples is south of that. And then you go into southern, like Sicily, would be a whole other trip. That
Well,
I'd
yeah,
love to
because
do.
it's like a totally different country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so much more like what we know as Italian American people, like that's almost more Sicilian in some respects.
All I know is when my grandma was alive, she said that we hate Sicilians because they're not real Italians. And
Oh my
that
gosh.
is where you learn hatred hatred is taught, not born.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Because I think it's just because they're so culturally different. Like Italy and Sicily are basically two separate countries. Mm-hmm. They're obviously the same country, but there's like you got a boat in to Sicily.
Well, yeah, and when people came over to the U.S., there were definitely people who identify as Italian American, but they really are Sicilian.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of the accents, a lot of the food influences are
Yeah.
very Southern Italy.
Yeah, Italy, like the Italian food in Italy is so much more basic than here. Like that was my biggest shock. It was like you're gonna have basic pizza with like one topping or like a basic pasta.
But that's also because you were on the north side.
Yeah.
If you were in Rome or Naples, it would be completely different.
Yeah, and that's what I want. I just want to I want to go everywhere in Italy
Yeah.
and then live there forever.
We're gonna go to Sorrento. While we're in Naples, we're gonna
was
do
like Sorrento Valley?
And,
No, so that little black jewelry box that Nick has that we gave you guys from our yard sale. It's like a black lacquer wood. It's sitting in your living room somewhere, like on a bookshelf. or something.
Yeah.
That's from Sorrento.
nice.
Oh, yeah.
They're famous for inlaid wood, and
It's a beautiful,
it's very beautiful work. Yeah,
Nice.
but we were clearing out our stuff.
Yeah, we have a lot of your things. Because Nick loves a deal. And he was like, ooh, we're going to get these. I was like, oh, okay.
Just take it. We want to get rid of it.
Well, that it was like that marble. It was like a marble like plate with a little
With a lid
dome
on it,
lid.
right.
It is like forever on our dining table, and it never like sees anything, and it just gets moved to like Linda will move it to clean, and then it goes back.
That's why we gave it away, because it was so small. Like there's nothing you can put in there.
I think you could put a cupcake in it,
Yeah, or like a little thing of cheese.
but like
Like, when are you going to do that?
the cake. Like if you put a cake, it's like a 2-inch round cake.
Yep.
I'm gonna put a cupcake in it, and I'll take a picture.
Well, everybody, thank you so much. It was fun.
Thanks, Andrew Davis.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
joining us. It's fun to have you.
Happy to be here.
Come back anytime.
Thank you.
Are you watching RuPaul this year?
I'm not.
I just started. I was not watching.
Well, you're on a hiatus until Paul gets back.
Of course, I can't watch. And I cheated, because the friends that I went over last Friday.
Don't tell Paul.
We watched. I did. We're going to be honest with each other.
You're like, hey, babe, so something happened.
So,
I watched episode 3.
well, the crazy thing, I watched like episode 6, and the last one we had watched together was number 2 or 3.
Oh, shit.
And I
So
feel
you
I
have
didn't-
no idea what happened in between?
But it didn't miss anything. That's
Yeah.
the crazy part. I feel like I didn't miss anything. I didn't even know who was gone.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay.
What platform is it on now?
It's on World of Wonder, and you have to VPN because it's not available in the U.S.
Yeah, unless, so we have YouTube TV and we've DVR'd it, but like it's not available on any streaming.
Interesting.
So you have to either
Yeah.
have like a DVR service, or you have to have, I think,
VPN.
a VPN for another country.
Wow. Okay.
So we connect, like our Roku can be in London.
Interesting.
And
I have that Philo streaming service, and I have, it's live TV, sort of like Sling or one of those.
Yeah, that's
I'll
what
have
YouTube
to
TV
check
is,
and
yeah.
see.
Philo.
Yeah, I'll have to
'Cause
check
it
and
is-
see if I
it
have.
is, like broadcast on,
I think
World
it's MTV or VH1.
one of those.
Oh, okay.
But you can't watch it after unless you
Right,
record
I would have to
it.
record. Yeah, I can record on that app. Okay, I'll have
Oh,
to
so
check on
cool.
that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, we'll catch up on that then if you ever
Yes.
get around.
If you ever
to
get
it.
around to it.
yeah.
Maybe you're not missing much.
Hang out with
Maybe
us
not.
more.
Yeah.
The first 2 episodes were good.
Yeah.
I like them, but it just seems like there's a lot of people who are not going anywhere. And there's
Yeah.
a couple people where you go, all right, I don't think that person really deserves to still be there. They were pretty bad, but they're one of Ruth's favorites.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. It's production. It's all fake television, but I am here for it.
All right, everybody. Well, you all have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to These Unprecedented Gays. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and join us next time as we continue exploring the ever-changing landscape of queer life. Until then, stay proud, stay fierce, and stay unprecedented.